The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama.
You're listening to Meridian's 3-time CMA nominees for Broadcast Personality of the Year. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. 44 this morning, wind chill of 39, and it's a burr out there. You got the glasses straight
I just have
yet?
to tell you something.
What?
So all last week I kept saying my glasses are crooked. My glasses, because I have a crooked ear.
Yeah.
And I always get the eye doctor to adjust it. Well, they got off balance or whatever. I asked my family. I asked you. I asked everybody.
I didn't notice.
Did you notice that my glasses are crooked? Did they get crooked? Everybody, no, I didn't notice. I'm walking the dog. And a man pulls up and says, "Oh, I'm so glad to hear you guys back. I just love listening to you and Scotty Ray." He said, "But you need to get those glasses under control."
So he told you had a crooked...
He told me I had crooked glasses.
Deb, I'm sorry. I didn't notice.
Yeah. You don't know.
The things, like right now, I can't tell.
You can't.
I think I need some.
Well, they are. They're still crooked. I got to go back.
The big news over the weekend nationally, the goodbye to Lisa Marie Presley. Did everybody see that?
I did. I didn't watch the entire thing. I watched a lot of it. It was very emotional.
Did Fergie come speak also?
You know, I miss Fergie if she did. I know that Axl Rose was there and sang and did a speech. A lot of Elvis, whoever was left from the Elvis era,
right,
came
from
up
the
and spoke
Memphis
and
Mafia.
sang. Yeah. Priscilla read a poem that Lisa Marie's daughter or granddaughter wrote. Maybe it was her daughter.
Right.
And just pretty much said that once she lost her son, she was brokenhearted and she just never recovered.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah. And but it was a beautiful ceremony and there were tons of people outside the gate. And it's very sad because, she was so young.
She was.
And all of them have passed away so young. His mother at 46, Elvis at what, 42? I guess
Vernon made it longer than the rest.
He made it longer. But one of the saddest parts to me, and it made me cry, was when they played Elvis and Lisa Marie duet. And you asked why she never really had a career. She had a beautiful voice. She's very talented. I don't know why. She just never... Well, maybe it did take off in some way, but it didn't take off obviously.
Nationally.
Yeah. And she looked just like her dad. And that had to be a tough road of being the daughter of such an iconic person.
You go back to Hank Jr. He did a song years ago called Standing in the Shadows of a Very Famous Man. It is tough.
It's tough because you're constantly being compared. I saw her in an interview where she said, I have to make sure my kids make it on their own. They have to be known for what they do and not for what my father did. And because they were asking, will they inherit everything? And they will. But she said that's not the point. The point is they have to make their own road. And,
Graceland.
Yeah.
And then, my next question, I would assume that it's only right that eventually Priscilla will be buried next to Elvis. I would think that was his love of his life, regardless of what he did later.
I think so. You would think so. That was the love of his life. No matter who all he dated or whatever happened. Yeah. And Margaret. They didn't really date, did they?
Well,
there was rumor, and he actually came
Viva
out.
Las Vegas.
Right. But remember, she came out and said, yeah, we're engaged. And he came out and straightened it out and said, no.
She wanted
because he
to be.
still had Priscilla over in Germany that he was in love
Right.
with.
So Elvis, an era, I guess you could say, closed this weekend. Sadness.
Yeah, and if you've never watched the Elvis movie, that's why I'm so into Elvis right now, because I watched it, and I was just showing Scotty Ray, he's got the movie, he hasn't watched it yet, but I was just showing him a clip of how well this guy, Austin, did. When he did Unchained Melody...
The last concert of Elvis's life, and they
you
even
can
got
barely
the
tell
guy,
who is who.
Yeah, they really dressed him to that part of the
overweight
Elvis. I couldn't think of
That's
the word.
what I call
for it.
myself right now.
The overweight Elvis.
I'm at the 42-year-old Elvis.
We're going to be broadcasting live from Burger King tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. There were those rumors, Scotty
Why was
Ray.
it
They were
back in the day? It was always
because
a
nobody wanted
Burger
to
King.
believe he was dead. It was just he was so young, and nobody wanted to believe it. And I can remember all the rumors like, "Oh, somebody spotted him. He just wanted a private life, and he just needed to go private, and that he wasn't really dead, but he really was dead." So.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, we do hope your morning is going well for you as you're waking up. We got our fireplace burning in the back, and it does feel good.
Stoke the fire.
I really like that. I've gotten used to this fireplace thing. I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of it. Well, over the weekend, what went on? We had our very first murder of the year last night. As we pulled this up to take a look at what's going on in the Meridian area, there it is. This happened in the 2100 block of 18th Avenue last night.
That's really sad. This was at what time? About 11 o'clock last night?
10:30 till 11 o'clock is when it went on. Now, from what I'm understanding, the gentleman was in a car. He was found shot. It is not expected to be a drive-by, but I guess, type one-on-one shooting is what I would call that.
Yeah. But wasn't he declared, dead on the scene?
Deceased at the scene.
Yeah.
DOA is the way they word that. Now, what is concerning about all of this is you compare this to last year, Debbie. Our first murder in Meridian didn't occur until March of last year. We are now 2 months ahead of the curve with our first murder in the city of Meridian. Now, we've had numerous shots, and we'll talk about what happened on Friday.
So this is our first murder of the year?
Very first one. Let's go to the map and take a look at where this actually happened at. This is where, if you're looking at this is Highway 39 right here. Let me get over here and show everybody. Here's Highway 39. This is 24th Avenue. This is where you would turn left to go to Poplar Springs, right there where Point Rexall used to be. If you take a right-hand turn, right here is where that incident happened here.
So if you make it relative to 14th Street, which is where everybody knows.
Yeah, here's just north of, here's Anderson's Hospital. It's just due north of that. And that's really nowhere through the back roads through there.
No, and right off of 23rd,
Meridian High School sits here, and here it is right here. A pretty common place there.
And I hope it was a one and done and no retaliation or
we do too,
anything like that.
Most of and what is interesting about this is usually when we have a murder, it is several things going on. There's shots fired. There's a lot going on. And this weekend, kind of relatively quiet on that scene. There was not a lot of gunshots. If you'll notice on our page, there was not a lot listed, but it still happened this weekend.
I thought I heard some late. Way off in the distance.
Well, right here is where you would have heard it. Eastern Gardens, we did have gunfire there.
It might have been.
Right at the railroad tracks. And from where you are, you could hear that. It would be a straight shot across there.
It's a few miles, but I can hear them when they're going in that direction.
No one injured, no one hurt in that instance is what we had there. I know there was a lot of alarms. Now, this goes back to Friday where we had a shooting in Meridian. If you remember when we first started the morning show. And this would be up by Winn-Dixie, if y'all remember. This was Landmark Apartments. It would be across, is it Citizens National Bank that's there?
It's not across from, so it's on, what is that road? North Hills.
North Hills Street.
Past Winn-Dixie, past the bank, past the store, to the left if you're going
toward Meridian, if you're traveling east.
Meridian. And from we gather, it's somebody came and knocked on a door and shot a guy that was in there with
a girlfriend, maybe. That is
an ex-girlfriend or some female.
Shot in the groin area. Strategically hit, from what I'm understanding, and it was
below the belt.
Painful.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with the shooting that happened this weekend, from what I'm understanding. But that's two. We've had our very first murder of the year.
Mm-hmm. Did they catch the guy?
Yes.
So this is the one where I think they went to try to serve a warrant.
Correct. And they threw a flash
into a house,
and it caught fire.
Right. But did they catch him?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That did happen.
That's not the fire.
I was looking. I had a picture of it, and I don't know what I did with it, Debbie.
Yeah, so he wouldn't come out. They threw a flash.
Right.
From my understanding, there was a fire. The fire department had to come. But I hope they did get him. So.
You know, I would really, and I say this being honest, and I know there's a lot of firemen out there watching right now. Say you're a fireman, and the little bell goes off. Police have a house surrounded, gunman inside, and you want me to go put out a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stay at the truck.
I tell you, I have so much respect for people that do that job. Fire department, police department, all the responders, because the things that they have to see, the things they have to put up with, the things they, just like that murder last night. Whoever came to the scene, that's what they have to go to bed looking at. I know. It's tough. And that was a grown person, and imagine if it were children. Or I wouldn't last one day.
No, I wouldn't either.
You've got to be a certain kind of special person to be able to handle that.
You do. LaWanda asked, what is a flash? It's similar like a smoke bomb, but it has a flash that they throw in. And you've always seen it in the cartoons.
Doesn't it smoke? So it kind of smokes them out? Or
to where somebody kicks it back out at the police, and they go, that's only in the cartoons, though.
Yeah, I think it's to put some smoke in there, and it makes them and run out. Somebody said you sound stuffy. Is it me that sounds stuffy or Scotty Ray?
I have sound
I just
stuffy.
Sound gravelly. Scotty Ray sounds stuffy. I just have a gravel voice.
But y'all, let me tell you, I am back from the grave, I think.
No, you were so bad last week. It was really making me nervous. But I did tell you, I said, no, if you feel like you're about to die, give me a call before I drive over here.
But, you say that, and there was a few months back, there was a guy in Great Britain who kind of does what we does, and he sat down and started talking to everybody and went flop. And I thought, whoa.
Well, I was on the air with Earl.
And he had a heart attack, didn't he?
It was before you came on the morning show with us.
Yeah.
So it was, he said he didn't feel well, and we made it to the end of the show, I think, and that's when he had a stroke, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
At Miss Brother Earl, he was.
You could tell something was very not right that morning.
Yeah,
and he
was
kept saying
off.
he didn't feel well, and he had to. I want to say we had to call an ambulance.
You did. That's been some time ago.
And he just never really
recovered from that. Then y'all asked me to fill in, and then the rest was kind of history after that.
Just us, and then we snuck and changed the name of the show.
Yeah,
because I never liked the name of it. What was it?
Breakfast Bunch.
Breakfast Bunch.
Yeah, we looked like a breakfast bunch.
Well, we were young then, and it just sounded old, so we wanted to revise.
So, do we go back to it now?
We called it the morning show or something. I don't even know what we called it.
Since we're old.
Yeah, we are the Breakfast Bunch now.
Scotty Ray and Debbie, y'all stay close. We've got more of what went on over the weekend. We'll tell you next right here.
I'm Chris Bullock, and I'm a candidate for Lauderdale County District 1 Supervisor. One of the reasons I'm running is I absolutely love this community and care about our people. I have the experience and leadership skills necessary to provide a professional service to every resident. I have a record of serving this community since I was 15 years old. It's time for fresh ideas under a new generation of leadership. I ask for your prayers, and I ask for your support.
Paid political by friends of Chris Bullock.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install, or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. We had somebody making the comment there that the Metro and fire departments kind of stand by till the police tell them that it's secure and you can roll in now.
So Jerome Lee said a flashbang munition is used for distraction devices.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit of
it doesn't put any smoke or anything. It just is a distraction.
I will never forget a few months back, there was a hostage situation in Meridian. And it was 4, 5, 6 people that went live in front of the home, and the police had it surrounded, and they were telling everybody back up quarter mile, and there was people walking by with baby strollers looking.
Oh, that's
I'm like, can you believe this? I mean, there's a guy in there with a gun. It ended up after Billy sent in the SWAT, he gave up. But it was just so shocking that people were not paying any attention to what the police were saying and standing in the front yard looking in the windows like this. And I'm like, come on, people.
I don't know how many years ago it was, but Christy knows. We were in our office, and we heard that there was somebody holed up that had murdered somebody, and they were after him, and they holed up. I'm not going to give too many details, but they holed up somewhere, and it wasn't too far from where our office was, so we loaded up, and we were the first ones
on the scene.
Well, not other than the police and the SWAT team and all that, and we actually saw the guy flee, and he got shot right there.
They took him down.
The whole thing, yeah.
Serious business.
But he had done some really bad stuff, so I didn't feel too bad. But yeah, he holed up somewhere, and he came out shooting. That's what it was. He came out shooting, and they got him.
And keep this in mind, when the police say back up a few feet,
they mean it.
Because there's a threat inside that you may not know at the time.
And they can come get you and then take off with you. And I mean, we were stupid that day, but
that happens. Last night, let's go to Highway 19, Jimmy Rogers Parkway. Anybody know where that is? Right outside of Meridian, past Bonita Lakes. Here's the scene of a wreck that happened there last night. Let's click on that and make that just a tad bit bigger, Deb. And that didn't work, did it?
Smaller, bigger.
If you'll see the car wreck there, I'm being told there was possibly DUI involved with that last night as well.
Never pays to drink and drive.
It does not. That bad situation there.
Mm-mm. This is so sad, Scotty.
I know our next trip, to all of those of you who live in the Dalewood community, it is a very, very tight-knit community. Everybody knows everyone. We first got the message that someone was missing Saturday afternoon. LEMA and volunteers would go out and start searching. They gave up the search around 12:30 that night because it was raining and conditions were not safe. They would return Sunday morning. As we pulled this up, and they searched ponds, they went everywhere. And this is the gentleman that they were looking for. His name was Danny Hall.
And where did they ultimately find him? He
was on a porch, from what I understand. Deceased. We pass along condolences to family members. It could have been a lot worse.
I know he had a lot of people that were really praying for him and really trying to find him. So he was very cared for.
Yeah. He was last seen there at Randy's Quick Stop Saturday morning around 6 a.m., and that was the last picture that everybody had of him. And they searched high and low, ultimately finding him. And the best we can say is rest in peace. We certainly hate when a story ends this way. It's just tragic for us to lose somebody like that in our neighborhood.
So, yeah, they took dive teams out and everything.
Yeah. It truly is hard to find words to describe something like this. You hate to even have to go there, but bless their hearts, and we do feel for every family member involved and all those that were helped out with that.
Yeah. Let me say good morning to a couple of folks, Scotty.
Who's out there?
Christy Skipper, good morning to you. Joanne Awuye. I don't know if that's the way you say it, but it looks like it. Good morning to you. Let's see, Brenda Gordon, Joe Gully, Gil Gafford.
Mama Chick.
Which one's Mama Chick?
Gail Gafford.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, she had a picture a couple weeks ago on Facebook there, hot mama at 17 in the back of a car. I think it was
really?
She was prom queen or something like that. You go, Gail. It was show and tell day.
I don't blame her.
We got a word last night that there was an 18-wheeler on fire. Whoop. That doesn't happen all the time in our area, so volunteer fire department ran out. It was right near where the weigh station is.
Uh-oh.
They would get there and they would detach the 18-wheeler from it, and it would catch on fire. They would leave.
Did they know what was in it?
Well, I got several reports. One said it was dairy products, and then somebody else said it might have been empty. I'm leaning more toward the dairy products at this point.
Dairy products is like carrying gold.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody was trying to hijack it.
So the fire department went on home. They went to have some eggs, go home, and then they had to go back.
Speaking of eggs,
back on fire.
Let's talk about some eggs.
Debbie,
talking about those eggs. I was at the grocery store. We had people coming in town this weekend. I was going to cook breakfast Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I went into one store, and they were so high. The normal eggs that I get were almost $10, and this is the cheapest store. And so I thought, oh, well, Mike's going to Sam's later. I'll get him to get the eggs because they'll be cheaper. And I forgot to tell him. So my breakfast, we didn't have the eggs. The entire breakfast was just ruined and they thought that I was just being super cheap, and that's why I didn't have eggs. But when did this happen?
What are they now?
So 18 eggs and I get the Eggland Best. I don't know why, but normally I used to pay $3 for 18 of them, and I thought that was being, kind of luxury. And now it's almost $10.
We're going to have to put bodyguards with our chickens that we've got.
And what if you cracked one?
Oh, that'd be tragic.
It's like...
Our little dog Ellie loves chasing the chickens and make them jump up in the air. She loves it. We may have to do something
You're going to
now.
have to start selling those eggs.
Boy,
are they laying eggs now?
Not as good as they're supposed to. They're like holding out. They
know their value.
She has like 20 chickens, and she's been getting like 4 and 5 a day. It's like a...
And then all of a sudden, they just I saw the news.
Yeah.
I know how much those eggs are. We're golden over here. You get us some good feed, and I might give you one egg today.
But who would have ever thought in their life, what is it, because I have not done this, have you sat down in a restaurant lately and ordered an egg cooked? What does that cost?
Well, so let me just tell you this, which was odd, because here you've got the price of eggs there, and I don't know if, Waffle House buys their eggs on Future, but we went there, and the prices remained the same. So we had to just go to Waffle House, because it was like, we got to have something to eat. And, so I don't know. They haven't increased their prices to my knowledge that I've noticed. But they did come to the table, and somebody at our table had ordered over medium. And they said, we're having to redo yours because the yolk broke. Because, over medium's not supposed to have broken yolk.
Yeah.
And I was like, can we get that egg? I mean, could you pass? What are you going to do?
Don't be throwing that away.
It's too expensive.
Oh, have mercy. If you were traveling Highway 19 yesterday, right about the time church was getting out, right along there, and you happened to notice a Dodge truck going down the road. Imagine this, Debbie. Dodge truck.
That's right.
With about 5, 6, 7 cop cars behind it going. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was stolen. Yeah, that's what was going on. Here we go.
Oh.
This would start out as they noticed a stolen vehicle from another state parked at Walmart, a Dodge Ram pick-em-up truck. Oh. And so they closed in. And then right before they went to close in, he took off. Boogie there. Up 19 he went.
They got the truck.
He went up and took a right-hand turn past 65th, went through that red light there by the old Walmart, went up, hung a right, and would drive till he come up on a church and decided it was time to give it up. He pulled into the church parking lot and said,
smart decision, because we know what happened the other night with a high-speed chase.
Yes, we do.
Never ends up good.
Golly.
Can I just say this real quick? Somebody said so everybody's saying that their hens aren't laying, right?
So, that's
about 4. But they said it's the light per day that control how much they lay.
So if I go out there with a flashlight and make Angie stay out there all night, will they give more?
Maybe you need to do
floodlights.
Lights. I don't know. I wonder if fake light, or what do you call it? Not fake light. What is it called?
Scott said order a steak and egg, see how far your futures will drive.
I know. But it does make me wonder, if they buy it
on futures,
and that way they don't have to pay the price.
Boy, I never thought I'd live to see that day.
They have Eggland Best at Sam's for about... Yeah, so that's what I was going to do, Delana. I was going to get them there because they're about $3 cheaper at Sam's.
There you go.
But I forgot.
Now, as you mentioned, of car chases that end up going bad, and this is the case that we see that happened on Saturday night. Meridian was full of this, that, and the other. Here's the car that was loaded on. This happened right in front of Meridian High School.
This car was going 107 miles per hour upon impact.
Yeah. It right before it got to Meridian High School, 110, and it slowed down after it went past Allison's house to about 107. That's a decrease. And then would wreck.
And luckily, the person who never puts their van in that spot, put their work van in that spot, hit the van. The guy, I think it threw him out of the car.
It did. He was ejected.
Yeah, and
now
this might be rumor, but I heard that the motor flew out.
I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Tragedy. The guy was in critical condition, rushed to the hospital. I haven't heard any more about his condition.
Airlifted.
That's just not worth your life. And I think all this started over a misdemeanor pullover. All you had to do was stop, and you would be okay. Now
that was down, Scotty Ray. Imagine that started kind of in downtown, right?
Yeah,
around the library, maybe.
The traffic stop started at 25th Street and 34th Avenue.
Okay. So 34th Avenue, 25th Street, ends up, and they go down 29th Avenue, I believe. Then he gets on 23rd Avenue, and that's when he starts it starts going from 80 to 90 to 100 to 110. 23rd Avenue, right at the hospitals.
Correct.
First, he was going up the wrong way.
Yep, sure was.
Through downtown. Gets on that and just floors it all the way up. Imagine passing somebody.
I think in all of that, he passed 3 vehicles in the entire time, and fortunately, they did not, they stayed in the lane. A miracle. But it also tells you for somebody to run from the law at that speed and that determination, there was something either in the car or something was going on. We don't know what. He didn't want to stop for whatever reason. We don't know who, what, or how.
I guess when that decision's made, it's good that there's just one person in the car.
Yeah.
That the other people that don't have a decision in the matter.
Yeah, somebody sitting in a passenger seat and you can't get out. What do you do?
Yeah.
Again, we don't know. We haven't seen charges. We don't know what went on with that, but something had them scared enough to where they did not want to stop. I don't think you just have that need for speed out of the blue for no reason.
Yeah. It was my understanding he had maybe some warrants.
Well, that answers that right there. There it was. Yeah. We also had this was the fire that we were talking about earlier, where the police were involved on 37th Avenue. So I did have it. I just didn't have it handy a while ago. Let's see what else happened here. We had some fender benders here on Highway 39. If you were going up past by the Meridian Little Theater, whoop, what do we got?
Right there. That's
right
a bad place. Don't you think? Because people don't know. It's always, even though I've been driving for 5,000 years, when you're making a turn like that, do
far side or this side?
Yeah, do you do that or you do that? And which one do you do? I can't remember.
You're supposed to go all the way to the other side.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah, but
I don't think everybody knows that.
They do not.
So if show the picture. Can you do it? Show it again. So if you're the black car.
This car is in the right place here.
Right. And so
this car was supposed to be back here.
Right. Waiting.
Yes.
The white car is doing the right thing.
Correct. It got hit.
Correct?
Correct.
So that's,
And let me just point this out. Let's pull this back up. This happens so much on Highway 19. If you're coming off of Chandler Road, when you come out on Highway 19, let's pull this picture back up. You're the first car here. Say you're that car.
That's me.
This car pulls up beside you. You're not supposed to do that.
No, you're not.
You're supposed to wait at the stop sign behind that person until they go.
So let's do this one more time.
You want to pull the picture back? Okay, here we go.
So let me ask this question.
Okay.
See the white truck that's approaching?
Yes, he's supposed to stay back here.
He's got to stay back there, right?
Yeah.
And he's got to wait until the green car goes.
Correct. Now you're supposed to get all complicated to ask, well,
so
what about the black car?
So what if the white car goes? Can the white truck go and get in the white car's spot, even though the green hasn't left?
He could.
It does get pretty.
But it gets to be one of those things of where people motion and they're kind of nice and they let each other go. But that was a mess up there. There's no other way to word that. Everybody that's watching has been through this before.
Yeah. I would cause one of those things. Because I do know there's a rule.
There is.
It's like it gets all twisted in my brain.
We still have a stolen car missing that we wanted to bring back up. Interstate Auto, which is right down from IHOP on North Frontage Road. Let's show you this picture here. Again, this is the car that has been stolen. This is a 2019 Kia Sportage. It was stolen last Wednesday morning around 5:19 in the morning. So if you happen to see this hiding behind a building suspiciously, they'd sure like to have their car back.
Yeah.
Really cuts into profit and being able to make
car is that?
A Kia.
A Kia.
That is a Sportage.
Good cars.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody said that a chicken needs 15 hours of light a day in order to lay productively. So is that what they do? They just give them artificial light?
Maybe so,
Make
in the
them
hen
just
houses.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Peg Bundy, artificial light for those
chicken.
bun buns.
I'm getting me a chicken. I'm gonna have
It's fun. It's fun. Angie has this particular chicken that likes to ride in the golf cart. If she lets him out, it runs up and jumps up on the golf cart, rides along with her.
Yeah.
Just saying. Scotty Ray and Debbie, y'all stay close. It's 7:30 already. Can you believe that? We've got so much to talk about. We'll be right back.
Spring is right around the corner, and Wilson Saw on Highway 19 North invites you by to get your equipment ready. For the do-it-yourselfer, they have all the filters and oil you'll need. Does your X-Mark need a tune-up or maybe a new set of blades? Let the professional sharpen your steel chainsaw or replace the plug. And they can get your steel weed eater running like tip-top for the spring. Whatever your need is, Wilson Saw and Outdoor Power will have you ready for spring. 71 Highway 19 North, 601-693-4100. Join Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesales every Tuesday night for a live auction, and you can bid from the comfort of your own home. Each week, Mike has a whole selection of auction items. Maybe you're a business that needs a liquidation sale. Or maybe you're in charge of an estate and don't know what to do with all you got. Talk to Mike Rice Auctions about an estate sale. Let Mike turn these items into cash for you. Your next deal is waiting for you at Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale this Tuesday night, live on Facebook at 6:30.
Need an expert to repair a rock peck or cracked windshield? Call Advanced Auto Glass by Joey for quality workmanship and customer service. Convenient same-day service, as well as in-house calibration for vehicle safety systems. Reliable mobile service is available in Clark, Kemper, Neshoba, Lauderdale, and Newton counties for all cars, trucks, and heavy equipment. Book your appointment today for custom tinting. It can reduce temps, fading, glare, and more. Improve the safety and enhance the appearance of your vehicle today with services from Advanced Auto Glass by Joey.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. And as we begin today, we remember a Mississippian. And I was sitting here humming. The barmaid is mad because some guy made a pass. There's no place I'd rather be. Right here, Rednecks, White Sox, and Blue Ribbon Beer. Who doesn't remember that?
I do remember the Blue Ribbon Beer one. Yeah.
Johnny Russell was born on this date as we pull this up. And also what's interesting about Johnny Russell being from Mississippi, he gave Buck Owens one of his biggest songs there. All I Got to Do Is Act Naturally. The Beatles would record this and many, many others. This guy just had many, many hits.
Maybe it's the way you're singing it. Maybe if I heard it.
With All I Got to Do Is Act Naturally.
Yeah.
They'll make a movie about a man that's sad and lonely. All I got to do is act naturally.
Why is that not hitting
It's
me?
one of Buck's biggest songs. Really thought you knew that one.
I didn't really listen to Buck Owens that much.
Okay, you wasn't into the Bakersfield thing.
No.
I mean, we could break into my welfare Cadillac if you like.
No, let me hear
Who's standing in her welfare line, waiting on her love?
No.
You never heard that one? Okay, it wasn't his biggest, but I just thought I'd break up one.
You know some of those that it's like what I call the other side of the album or something.
Side B.
Yeah, side B.
I know my country.
I had a whammo.
1957, who had the very first Frisbee? Here it is.
Well, I probably found one from 1957, but
Here,
I remember these.
But yeah, the whammo. I did not realize it was
commercial.
57 before we had our first Frisbee. And it was lots of entertainment.
I know. I wonder. I need to look up why they decided to start marketing Frisbees.
Good question.
But we used to play Frisbee all the time.
Do you see
You want to go
them
out and play Frisbee? Yeah, I don't see anybody doing that.
I don't either.
Maybe they do. But I just don't
Dogs
know
used to
people
chase
that-
them.
Yeah, dogs still chase them, I think.
Thing of the past, I guess. But you don't even see them in the owl for kids for sale
Then you had
anymore.
the boomerang that would come back to you.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Frisbee, but not. It
Similar.
came back. Yeah.
Pretty neat stuff. I never had one of those. 1963, what was the number one song in America? We all sang along with it. You couldn't help but do it. It was the Ballad of Jed Clampett. Went number one
Let me tell
today.
y'all a story about a man named Jed. Poor mountaineer and barely kept his
That's
head.
it. Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs, number one today. And of course, they did appear on the show
I
several
think I still
times.
know every word to that song.
He was shooting at some coons, and up from the ground come a bubbling crew. Oh, that is.
Texas tea.
You can't help but sing along with it.
The
ballad.
Beverly Hillbillies.
See, she knows it.
Isn't that how it went?
That's how it went. Movie stars, swimming pools, movie stars.
Yeah.
Love that show. One of the classics of all time. 1975 would roll around. It would start to have all these detective shows. This would premiere tonight on TV. Who remembers the Barney Miller Show?
Watched it all the time.
It was
a great
popular.
show. Yeah, I need to watch that again. Squad Room Detectives. They were good. It was a good show.
Been a while. 1976, the number one song in America, and you couldn't help but sing along with it. It was the 6th of June in the dark.
Breaker. Is that it?
That's it. Convoy was the number one song. It's a rubber duck.
They go.
And was Chris really all that in a bag of chips?
I was so in love with Chris Christopherson. I was so in love with him. And then when he did A Star Is Born, and I got the album, and I remember, because back then the only way to learn songs was I would listen to a little bit, put the needle back down, write the words down, listen to a little, and I memorized every word to the entire A Star Is Born album. Fun fact, fast forward to Lady Gaga, and what's his name doing, Bradley Cooper doing A Star Is Born, and my daughter didn't know that there was an original Star Is Born. But wasn't Elvis Presley the one that they wanted for that movie?
Sure was.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't make the dates on that. Interesting about Chris Christopherson. Y'all think about this. You're a songwriter in Nashville. You're a nobody. You can't get a break no matter what you do. And this is Chris Christopherson. So he sits back and he thinks, how am I going to fix this?
I know how he did it.
So he goes and rents a helicopter, lands it in Johnny Cash's yard, walks up to the front door and hands him the song, Sunday Morning Coming Down.
Sunday Morning Coming Down, one of the best songs ever.
And as they say, the rest is history. Today you'd probably end up in jail, but it worked for Chris.
Because Chris was known more as a songwriter than his singing abilities. But he was gruff. He was so gruff, and that's what made him A Star Is Born. That's what made it so perfect.
He was it.
Yeah.
People are saying they didn't notice your crooked glasses until you pointed it out, Debbie.
I can't help. Look. I don't know.
She's
my crooked ear.
trying there.
I try. But look, this is basically the way my week. Guys, do you not notice that my glasses are crooked? No. Every family member. Look. I'm like, do you notice now? And they're like, no, not really.
I will never forget the first time that I heard this. That opening note of this song, it would be 1981 when this group from Fort Payne would make their way to stardom. And this would be, it was released today. I Saw You Staring at Each Other. It was a song written by Mississippian, Mac McAnally, as Alabama would release Old Flame. That old flame might not be stronger, but it's been burning longer than anything.
That's such a good song.
Golly.
I saw you
it is.
at each other, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm going to stop wearing my glasses and not see. I'm going to be like Scotty Ray.
I do that all day.
Yeah. I got to straighten them back out. I messed them up when I tried to show.
I don't know if you remember the words to this. 1983 would come along, and each night, I think it was Wednesday nights that this came on. It was in 1973. How did it go?
They would say, wait a minute, hang on. I love it when a good plan goes together. What they'd say is they would get together and that would be blood and guts, blood and guts, blood and guts. And then it would be, I love it when a good plan comes together.
But that opening credit would say in 1973, a crack unit of, I can't remember how it went, but the A-Team premiered tonight.
The A-Team. I knew about it and I saw it because it was on TV, but I just wasn't into A-Team.
I pitied a fool.
I pitied a fool. That's what was his name?
Mr. T.
Yeah.
But all in all, it had a good meaning. They always helped somebody at the end of the show, and no matter how many times of the 290,000 times they shot at somebody, they never hit anything. Think about that. Not one person was ever injured on the show.
I don't know, but a friend of mine went as Mr. T one year, and he sounded just like Mr. T. It was almost frightening.
As good as Eddie Murphy did.
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy did some really funny stuff. Hey, boy.
Yeah.
That was funny. Who remembers Nell Carter? She was in a lot of sitcoms. She passed away on this date back in 2003.
Was she in the one where it was
about
with
choir.
The woman? Wasn't she in the one where the woman had like a boarding house with the little girls?
I think so.
What was the name of it?
Can't tell you, but I know what you're talking about.
Somebody knows. I can't read it though.
Jerry says they couldn't hit a tire. You're right. They tried out the back of the van all the time. They'd never done it.
What was it? Now that's about to drive me crazy.
It'll come back.
What was the name of the show?
There was a 227. I can't.
Tootie. There was a girl named Tootie. The little
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life.
Was she on it too?
It's sad that you knew that. Yes. That was
okay.
I think she was in it. I could be wrong.
Let's go back. And who remembers this guy? He was the man that really created talk show.
Yeah.
We lost Johnny Carson, back in 2005. I got carried away with the seas.
So much.
Yeah, he was good.
Late night was never the same. It was Johnny Carson and then David Letterman.
And it was clean.
Those were the two I always watched. Yeah,
clean.
Yeah,
Mrs. Garrett.
Mrs. Garrett. So was Nell Carter on that? Let me go to my phone a friend and
phone a friend. I'll bring up Lori White. Who remembers? And this girl was such a great singer. Lead Me Not into Temptation. She had a lot of country songs, and she was also in the very ending of the movie with Tom
Cruise.
No, what's his name?
Hanks.
And Tom Hanks, Wilson, the softball, if y'all remember.
Oh, she's the one that walked down the road.
Yeah, and he delivers it.
Yeah.
She passed away on this date back in 2018 from cancer. She was a very talented girl. We sure missed out on that. So
I forgot about that.
We lost another great that really started.
I watched every Larry King ever.
Yep. 2021. All those 58 wives of his lined up at his funeral.
He always had those. I don't understand it, but I guess that fame.
Yeah, it has something to do with
money.
It brings the young girls out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this guy had such class. He did.
These are just some standards.
Absolutely.
These were the gold standards back in the day. Yeah.
If you were one of the big movies that he played in, if you remember, Fletch Lives, and he had his mama in the vase. Don't drop mama. Hal Holbrook passed away on this date back in 2021 also. I like me some Hal Holbrook.
Somebody said I need to wear my glasses because I look cool.
Okay. Put your cool glasses back on. Scotty Ray and Debbie, y'all stay close. We'll be right back with more information of what's going on in and around the area right next. If it is time for another car or truck for your family, see our friends at Interstate Auto. They're located on North Frontage Road in Meridian, just down from IHOP. They offer bank rate financing. All applications are accepted with over 14 years in business, and they offer you a fair price. Open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. and Saturday 9 until 2. Appointments available after hours as well. Remember, all roads lead to Interstate Auto, 802 North Frontage Road, Meridian, 601-483-6977.
Jackson Flowers has settled into their new location on Highway 19 North and is still offering the same great products and services you and your family have grown accustomed to over the past 60 years. Jackson Flowers is pleased to offer their after Christmas sale on many items found in their gift shop. Don't forget, they offer floral arrangements, live, along with all of their fashionable decor for your home or office. Visit Jackson Flowers, now located 2 miles north of Walmart on Highway 19 North. Jackson Flowers, for all occasions.
Rockhouse Gun & Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need. With a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun & Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian.
Well, let's talk about our friends at Snowden & Company Real Estate. 601-453-3937 is the number to call. Whatever you're looking for, they most likely have it. And if they don't, they can line it up when you're ready to buy a home. You tell them what you're looking for, they'll find that dream home that you've been looking for. Locally, right here in the Meridian area, from any size, from a 1-2 bedroom home all the way up to a 5-6. Maybe you need something to include your mother-in-law in. They got that also. They're open till 5 o'clock today by appointment on Saturday and closed on Sunday. They cover Clark, Neshoba, Newton, Lauderdale, all these areas, including Brandon and Flowood now, even Forest. See them. They'll help you out there. Visit them online at snowdenrealestate.com. Easy to find. A home there in the West Lauderdale area. You'll see them there. Visit with them. Find out why so many people have those signs in their front yard. See Amanda, that's her, and her friendly staff. She's a negotiating expert. 601-453-3937. They'll help you in so many ways there to get you into a new home and off to a new start.
Okay. It's my job to make some corrections here, Scotty Ray.
We got corrections?
Give Me a Break was the show that Nell Carter was in.
That's it.
Give Me a Break. And then Dixie Carter was married to Hal Holbrook.
They sure were. It was
not a correction. We just forgot about it. And then a friend of mine said that the Frisbee was invented by some dude and his girlfriend tossed a tin, the top to a tin of popcorn, and that's where the Frisbee came from.
Whoa.
I don't know if that's factual. She didn't say. I don't know. She just made that up.
She may have.
Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. There's your corrections. Oh, yeah. Good morning. Who is Mike? Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Hope it's all good there. I was looking back at some stories that happened across the state. Last weekend, a Pizza Hut manager in the Hattiesburg area was making a deposit. Well, he got robbed.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, got shot. Going to be okay. We rushed to the hospital trying to make a deposit in the overnight. Tried to get mugged and was hurt.
I think here they moved it to the in front of the police department, didn't they?
There is a bank deposit there if you want to make a deposit there.
Because,
A little bit safer. And you can also do, if you're doing a transaction of selling something on Facebook, you can meet there. Pretty handy little thing to have there. Let's see what else is going on. This is all hints. Now, nothing is said, but Mississippi Today has been the leader on all of this fallout with the scandal that rocked Mississippi of the welfare scandal. They're saying attorneys are dropping hints that feds are eyeing former Governor Phil Bryant. Again, we don't know that for sure, but Mississippi Today is pointing that out.
Wow.
Ruh-roh.
I hope it's not true.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. This is a very tangled web all the way to the top of this. Mm-hmm. And in some circles, somebody else's name's been mentioned that's way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with all of this. Cowboys lost last night. Then the fans went outside, got in a big old squabble fight right in front of the stadium.
Who were they playing last night?
49ers. Oh. They lost.
The Cowboy fans are
touchy.
They're crazy. I'm not trying to say they're crazy, but they are. A friend of mine is a Cowboy fan, and she gets a
little.
I don't even like to talk to her.
She goes to another level.
I don't even want to talk to her doing
but
that.
I just haven't joined the NFL back yet. They haven't.
Did you see where? I know your next story is coming up about Antifa. Did you see where they were in Atlanta and they kind of found out that it's not San Francisco. It's not Portland. They're not going to put up with them there.
No, they're not. Mm-mm. This happened. This scares you of what people in their, is somebody's kid. They didn't do it. You cannot be responsible for what your kids do. They grow up and grow on. But a Democratic leader's daughter, and I will not say what she spray painted, but number one, spray painting a monument is a no-no in my book. You don't do that.
Whether you like it or not.
But she went and spray painted ugly words about cops of doing something.
This is during one of those Antifa protests.
In
which
Boston.
I guess were going on all weekend.
Where does this stop? This is leaders. Do they get it at home? Now, I know Kellyanne Conway, even her daughter is way out there.
Her daughter is horrific. I kind of got trapped up into reading a lot of Twitter stuff when it was all going down, I don't know, last year maybe. And her daughter is just...
Needs a spanking.
She's bad. No, she needs worse than a spanking. She needs to be in jail.
But
it was a release of a video where she was filming. What's her name?
Her mama. Kellyanne.
She was filming Kellyanne, and Kellyanne had it, and so she got the worst part of it, which everybody snaps at some point, and that's what went out to the public. And anyway, she's bad. So is her husband too.
Yeah, I don't. Again, you can't control. You are not responsible for your children. You try to raise them the best you can, and then they go haywire sometimes. And this is probably a perfect example of that.
Not for your children.
Yeah.
I mean, not if you tried.
They are starting to use the word Watergate in D.C. nowadays, and they're comparing this to this scandal with Biden trying to hide everything. This is never going to stop, folks.
Watergate. So when you look at some of the stuff that's happened since Watergate just doesn't seem
that bad at all.
It doesn't seem like it was anything. It was just the whole story behind finding it.
That's right.
But Biden, Saturday night, didn't they find more documents?
They did.
They found more.
And now they're even talking about, do we go ahead and start searching the rest of his homes?
I mean, why isn't he just giving everything up if it's there? And some of it's from when he was a senator. Some is from the Obama administration. So what does he got? Why does he have this stuff?
That's a real good question, Deb.
Yeah.
It's a mess in Washington, I tell you. And is this a sign that current Democrats are going, okay, it's time to get shed of him? Let's leave him behind and let's move forward in 24.
They did accidentally call Camilla
President?
Camilla, president the other day.
Yeah.
How do you say her name?
Kamala, I believe.
Kamala?
It could be.
I really can't remember.
And then another it is a tough word to say because I've heard it said everybody has a different pronunciation of it. And I probably have a unique one all by myself.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. The shooting over the weekend, 10 people shot.
That was awful. No, 20 people shot.
Oh, it was 20?
20 shot, 10 killed.
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed out on that
it was
part.
20 people shot, 10 killed. And it was a 72-year-old that did it. And then so this happened in an area called Monterey Park, right outside of L.A. And so that guy was in a van, and they had a description of him. And he took off in a van, not knowing whether he was going to, I think, they got his weapon. That's what it was. 2 people that were there disarmed him. Uh-huh. And he took off in a van. The van was sitting in a parking lot in Torrance, California, which you've been there. I've been there because when you went to some awards, I wasn't with you, but I know the area. So SWAT, everybody for like 4 hours surrounded this van, but he had ultimately killed himself in that van. But they had to wait to make sure because they didn't know what was in the van.
That's right. We'll check your forecast next, tell you a little bit about the severe weather that is headed our way tomorrow night. All that's up and coming with Scotty Ray and Debbie. Y'all stay close with us.
Your next Maytag or Whirlpool appliance is waiting on you at All Temp Appliance and Refrigeration on Highway 19 North. If you've been trying to locate a freezer, stop by and see their big selection of upright and chest freezers, a showroom full of stoves, gas, and electric. Maybe it's a new refrigerator from large double doors to the simplest of refrigerators. Name brand washers and dryers like Speed Queen and Amana. And delivery is available with a great service department to back up what they sell. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, and by appointment after hours and weekends.
Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 invites you by to take a look at a brand new product they've got. Odes, ATVs, and UTVs. These side-by-sides range from 800 to 1,000 cc's, and they come with heat or air. Whether you're doing work around the farm or hunting, they've got the unit just for you to keep warm or cool, depending upon that Mississippi and Alabama day. Swing by for a test drive today at Freeman Tractor. See coleslaw, buttermilk, and don't forget you can meet their newest employee, Eggplant. That's Freeman Tractor, Highway 494.
Have you been hurt on the job? Call Will Parker. Get the help you deserve. Call Will Parker. Know your rights when it comes to the workplace injuries. Call Will Parker. Call or go online at parkerfirm.net. Call your Meridian lawyer, Will Parker.
Well, if you need it cleaned in a fast time, well, Godwin Cleaning Services is there for you. Visit them today. They'll be right here through the Meridian area taking care of any vinyl siding that you might have. Yeah, they can take care of your brick, your rock, all of that good stuff. Latest equipment to take care of that. You can get in touch, get that roof cleaned, whether it's a metal roof or you've got an asphalt roof. Whatever the case is, they'll make it look new again. A lot of times make your paint look new again, including your sidewalks and all your steps and all of that included. Take away that slick step. See them. Visit with them. Low pressure, won't harm any of your wood or your paint. See them. That's Godwin Cleaning Services. You can reach them again. 601-253-8262 is the number to call, and they'll get you going right away. Now, as we mentioned, rough weather may be in the forecast for a lot of people tomorrow night. And let's pull this up from the National Weather Service of what we've got. Debbie, this is mainly going to be from, we hate to even say this word, nighttime.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, 9 p.m. until 3 a.m. is when we're expecting this tomorrow. This is the latest from the National Weather Service. And the line is pretty much I-20. South of I-20 is going to be rougher. It will be a level 2 for Clark and for Jasper County. Now, when you make it to Wayne County and you get into this area around Hattiesburg, it will jump to a level 3 all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, meaning they're more likely to see tornadoes than we are. We can't rule it out in the Meridian area by any means, but more likely to have it south of us than we are to here in this area. We'll be here behind the scenes watching it carefully to make sure that you know.
Yeah, and I mean, those lines can change so easily. That's just because we're a couple of days out, right?
Yeah.
Or tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Let's pull this up. We can really see the line of where all of this stuff is. A big picture of it. Here it is. As we pull that up. That's the level 3 here all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Here sits Meridian right here. Here's Clark County, Laurel, and then very, very bad in that area there. So we'll watch it. We'll be on this for you behind the scenes there. Have any more corrections that we needed to make?
No more corrections except for I do want to clear up the murder that took place. Somebody asked if it was close to Poplar Springs neighborhood. No, this was more. It was just off of Poplar Springs Drive. Actually, it was off of 24th, right?
Yeah, to the right of 24th. It would be behind Anderson's Hospital.
So it wouldn't really even be where Poplar Springs Drive is yet.
This is Ward 2 and Dwayne Davis's district. Call Dwayne, talk to him about it if you're tired of murders in your area. Talk to Dwayne, express your concern over that. I'm sure he would love to hear from you as he goes back to the city council to discuss all of this.
Somebody said that the guy that killed all those people used a machine gun. Wow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I don't understand it. I mean, and to be 72 years old and then just go rogue.
It doesn't add up.
Shockingly, I didn't see a whole lot of stories about it. Not like it usually takes up
everything in the news.
Yeah, I kind of had a hard time finding it to get details.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately I did, but...
One of the favorite TV shows I ever watched was Frasier. I always liked
good show. Really
They're
good
saying
show.
the reboot to it is lackluster and it's cheap. They're saying it's not good at all. None of the other characters are on it except him.
Well, then it would not be great.
Rosalind, his sidekick, she really made the show. And then the nanny girl.
Yeah.
And his little brother that was...
he was a little
scrawny guy.
Yeah, what was his name?
Niles,
yes.
How can they have a show without all of that?
Yeah. A lot of times these reboots or, trying to bring them back, it doesn't work.
I know. But we had hopes, but it looks like that is a bust as well.
But Kelsey Grammer, he's huge in New York on the stage.
He is.
He does a lot of shows at the Broadway.
Well, once again, it's come to the end of our day. We'll have some special guests tomorrow in the studio with us. I hope you will come back and join us.
Yeah, somebody said they loved the dog. What was the dog's name? Remember the dog?
Eddie.
Oh, was it Eddie?
Yeah, Eddie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank y'all so much. God bless, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. with Scotty Ray and Debbie.
Have a good day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: